Hey guys, welcome back to another amazing show. We are going to be rocking it here with Real Estate Uncensored. We are going live on both my Facebook and YouTube. So if you guys are in either location, please feel free and join us and ask questions. But we have James, the Zillow Killer, the man, the myth, the legend. He is back for round 20 on the show, a reoccurring victim. We are blessed to have him here. And then riding in the co-pilot seat, we have, of course, the evil bald ninja, Gene the Volpe. So what up, Gene? How are you, man?
What's up, Craigers? I'm doing good, man. You can see I'm in a different location today. We decided to change our venue up for this week. Today's my last day where we're at. I'm not going to give away my location just because I don't want people asking for autographs like I'm with the family. So, but I will tell you, it's down in the Wildwood, Jersey Shore, and it's kind of crappy out. Like the weather sucks, but they're all sitting at the beach right now with the wind blowing. Just the girls needed a change of visuals, I think, change the landscape for a couple of days with all this crazy stuff going on. But I will say, I'm glad to be back with my fellow Philadelphia bruh.
Definitely. Pleasure to be here, you guys.
Dude, James, tell everyone a little bit about you. I mean, if literally people have been under a rock for an extended period of time and they just literally have never heard of you, tell them kind of like who you are, what you do, and what is Zillow Killer and why did you create it? And just kind of let people know who you are.
Oh, definitely. In a nutshell, I help people get shit right with online marketing. And the whole Zillow Killer movement is to give people options. You know, I think for a long period of time, true practitioners like myself and a few others, and I think that's what a lot of people resonate with Greg with is because he's an actual agent, right? It's not an opinion. It's his experience he's telling from. So really trying to give people perspective on what the internet can do from a practitioner, from an agent perspective and an advertising perspective, and help them navigate it correctly where they're not forced into what the industry assumes should be happening. Like everyone has this thing where I should be using Zillow, I should be using realtor.com. It's optional. And unfortunately, it's not optional to so many people because they don't know what exists out there, right? But we try and get people to understand that the internet as a whole is a presence, not a destination. And when you understand that, you have more control of your marketing and you can kind of decide if I'm going to use Zillow, it's out of convenience, not out of ignorance. So that's the kind of whole process we try and get people to understand. And I'm just cool as shit. I'm just trying to help the industry grow overall.
Yeah, and you've all obviously always been a very, very giving kind of gentleman and, you know, in full of knowledge. And so we were talking before the show started kind of what we were going to cover in today's show. And we unanimously agreed that we think we want to kind of talk a little bit about video. So, you know, James, walk me through, you've been talking about how to do video, you know, asking people, kind of pushing them down that path. You're now with the whole COVID thing that took place, it kind of just pushed people off that cliff, no matter if they wanted to or not. But talk to me and kind of tell me what you're seeing in the industry as a whole right now with video. Are people more open to it, or kind of what are you seeing?
Well, fascinating. Those that are really that have more of a growth mindset, not a scarcity mindset, but more of a growth mindset, are willing to adapt to video. It still don't make sense of it because there's still a lot of people still see the internet as a destination. Like people still say, well, I'm going to go online. Well, man, you're always online. Like you're never off, right? That's just the reality of our world as a whole, right? The COVID-19, which is, you know, and I personally hate to say that because I think we all understand the reality. It's just what it is. But what it has done, you know, it's forced the industry to be relevant. So a lot of you guys is thinking you're doing something innovative and new and like, oh man, I'm innovating. No. You're being relevant. You should have been doing this shit years ago, right? Years ago, you should have been producing video. Years ago, you should have been willing to do Zoom calls and virtual meetings, right? Time is finite. We don't have the time that we think we have, right? So with this current reality, it's forced the industry to be relevant, which I'm absolutely loving the growth pattern that people are on. Now, it's still interesting that there's still some people that still kick against the reality of how video is consumed, right? You know, when this reality kicked off, everybody got glued to their internet. So You take that and imagine if this pandemic kicked off and we didn't have the internet. Right? How lost would we be? You know, all of the false information and the paranoia that's pushed through different news media and just all the crazy shit that we'd have been forced to digest, and then we didn't have each other to communicate. The internet has opened up the world where our communication, and of course that's what the internet is, it's all community building. We could get some real or clearer perspective about situations without just believing everything. Now, some people choose to believe everything, but with that understanding, we quickly realize that these channels like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of these channels became a very, very high level of distribution. And that's the way you should see these channels, not as social media, see them as distribution. So when you understand distribution, it's like that aha moment should kick in, like, oh shit, okay, I'm getting information. I can also put out information. It's a perfect way, perfect time for me to get in front of my community, get in front of my market. And we all know the current leadership that exists now on all levels of government is all over the place. The shit makes no sense at all.
None.
It makes no sense. And right now, our communities, our markets are looking for leadership. So if we stepped up as agents, as professionals, as industry leaders, and start to guide our community, that's the perfect time to position yourself as an authority figure. That's the perfect time where your industry can adapt to who you are and your personality, where you don't have to perform anymore. Listen, lead me, guide me, because you know the way. So let's rock and roll. And then when they decide that, you know what, I don't just trust this dude, you know, I think he or she can help me. That's when business starts to grow. So when you see the progression of maneuvering in video, it's an easy way to understand. That's the perfect way to position yourself where your business can just shoot. The trajectory of your business can just skyrocket because now people can put some type of interesting character, some identity, some real intimacy or some real thought into who you are because you're giving them intimacy. It's like, oh, you know, I think I can trust this person.
I love that. I've been saying video has been a keystone in business. You know, as soon as live became a thing on Facebook, and it's because, I mean, every piece of content you're putting out there, you don't know who's watching it, but it's also obviously affecting someone in a positive way. If you're putting out positivity, if you put out negativity, you're going to negatively impact them. Obviously, pretty simple to understand that. But all these videos that we're talking about, they're living business cards. They are getting to know who you are, your personality, your quirks, you know, what you think is funny, you know, how you operate your business, kind of, you know, you just who you are. And so, Gene, I know that for what you do is that you can take, and this is where the great stuff. So, you know, James and his crew are, they're helping them build the videos, right? And then they take them over to the Volpinator, you know, GVI Media. And then Gene, explain to me kind of what you help with clients with, and kind of why the video is so powerful and what you can do with it to your different channels.
Well, I want to step back a little bit. I don't even want to go that route. I would rather say, no. I'm going down your path, but I don't want to talk about chopping up content. Here's why. I think it's still both infuriating to me and mind-boggling that people still will not become their own leaders in their area through using video. So like what James was saying, we started this movement in 2009 where video wasn't a big deal back then, but we thought it was going to be, and there's still people that aren't doing it today. So what I want to say, Greg, I don't want to take that one. I don't want to complicate it. How about if we do that? Let's start there. I don't want to complicate it. What I want to do is I want to challenge the people that take baby steps, right? Even Gary Vee started with one viewer. Okay. So people are worried about, where's my audience? Nobody's going to watch this. Just stop that. Right. So get out there and let's start with 1 minute videos. And with a 1 minute video, it's going to be a snippet, right? For the most part. And you'll find too that everybody will say, well, I don't know what I would say for a minute. I guarantee when you start talking about a topic that you're an expert on, that 1 minute gets to 4 minutes really quick and you don't even realize it. So let's start with a couple 1 minute videos, make it look a little bit professional. We're not even at the point where you're going to send it to me to chop it up yet, because I want you to get comfortable behind the camera. And then I want you to get comfortable with people reaching out to you because you took the initiative to get on video. And you're going to find out that you have to be a leader to one person before you can be a leader to a million. Mm-hmm. So do that first. And then, like, Greg, I know you were like, okay, you shit on me there. This is my idea. Forget it. And I didn't mean it like that, because we can go down that road all day, every day. And I feel like I'm a broken record. I've been talking to people about this forever, and it's still amazing that only 0.5% of the people that I talk to are taking the initiative to do what James is doing. And that's just hit the record button, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I cannot wrap my head around either. It's like, here's a free solution. James, you've said this a million times. It's a free solution. This is an opportunity where you can get in front and talk to people about exactly what they want to be talked to about. We've never had these opportunities before, and it's a Logitech web camera here, or it's the cameras on your phone, which, by the way, guys, he's shooting like minimum 1080p. I mean, you are a production studio, and you need to be getting the content and the information about your life, about your real estate, or about your personality, about your family, whatever you want to share. But you get out there and humanize yourself. There was before any of this stuff was a thing. This was back in 2000. What was this? Like 2003, 2004. And none of the live video stuff was around. But there was a guy, he worked in LA, and he would door knock a neighborhood, and he would put out a paper newsletter every week, and he would include stories about his family. Well, he didn't get any business for the first 6 months, and then all of a sudden the guy calls and goes, "Hey, my name's so and so, and I live on yada yada street, and I've been getting your newsletters, and by the way, how was your trip to Hawaii? Did your kids enjoy it?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm calling because I want you to come over and list my house. Do you still list houses?" The guy was out that door so fast, and that was with paper. So, you guys, I want to pick both of your brains. How can someone take that story, put it into a video format, and where would you guys go? Would you do stories on Instagram and Facebook? Would you do posts? Would you do a blend? Would you IGTV? Where would you go? Where's the highest potency, James, for people to be visible on video and get quick returns on their time and their effort?
The ephemeral side, which is stories, is always the quick burst, and it opened up the channel for short-term content like TikTok. The thing that people have to understand is before you even doing the video is one part. Picking a channel that they want to go deep in is always a complicated thing. I think everyone is all over the place. It's like, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing TikTok, I'm doing, just pick a channel and go deep into it. But from one channel, or each channel has its own cultural structure. Right. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to go that direction of, let's say, ephemeral, which is stories, Instagram has a stronger pull on that side. And then you tie that next to Facebook. But then you compare Facebook to Instagram. Facebook is easier to navigate and has more predictability than Instagram and TikTok. Right. So when you look at the two channels, first you have to pick a channel. Pick which one you're going to do. Right. If you're going to do YouTube, you're going to do Instagram, you're going to do Facebook. If you're going to do, pick one, right? Mm-hmm. And then go deep with it. The consistency of doing or putting yourself out there is what's going to make your audience count. Like, you have to be in front of them, at least daily. And I know some people say that. It's always fascinating when people are like, "Oh, I can't do content every day." You shoot the shit all the time. Like you spend most of your day. You're not people are like, "Oh, I'm busy." No, you're not. You're not that busy, right? And people are realizing that right now. Like, they're catching that right now, where you see, you can look. And if you look at the news feed, you're seeing all this crazy political shit they're posting, all of the news shows they're posting, all of their boredom they're posting. Like, but you were the same dude 2 weeks ago that you was too busy to shoot content, right? So, when they, but the fear that people run into, Greg, is self-awareness. That's the biggest thing why people won't do it. Like, they're still wearing these camouflage suits and living this mirage of a realtor, and they forget the fact that you're a person first, right? Humanizing the process. And what he did in that newsletter, he was able to humanize the process and tap into those two elements that people buy from: emotion or agreed upon value, right? That's what we lean into. So when we get to a place where we're ready to build a business and we're willing to put ourselves out there, the very first thing we have to be is comfortable with who we are. We have these fear factors. Like, I'm worried about how I look. I don't like the way I sound. It ain't shit you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about how you look or how you sound, right? Those same attributes that you don't like, people see when you get in front of them, right? Because we have this running theme: put me in front of them and I'll sell them. We're trying to, right? Getting in front of one person is cool, but video is going to put you in front of many people. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same from one, instead of from one to one, we're going from one to many. We're just using conversation and scaling it for you. So for those that just want to get themselves out there and start doing video, the very first thing I always advise people to do is pick a topic or talk about shit right? If you don't understand your market, then don't talk about it. Talk about something you know. Hey, are you losing weight? Are you gaining weight? Are you working out? Like, you have to get that comfort level in front of that video first and foremost, because we got this notion that I'm going to start shooting video and I'm going to kill a game. That is a progression, right? That's like muscle. Like, I would love to tell you, go lift that 400 pounds. And your mindset may be saying I could do it, but I assure you, you're not going to pick that shit up. You have to develop that muscle, right? So putting yourself out in front of the camera is going to force you to develop a comfort level where you find your voice. And finding your voice is self-awareness. You get comfortable with who you are. And I always try to encourage people to let them know, if you put yourself out there, I assure you, the market will adjust to who you are, because there's no more mask. There's no more mirage. This is James. This is me, right? Either you like me, you love me. And do I expect the entire market to love me? No, for whatever reason, they don't. But there will be a remnant and a portion that adapt to who I am as a person and really dig me. So putting yourself out there first. If you want to pick a channel, like I said, pick either one. Facebook, YouTube, pick one. Don't go to all three. Pick one. Get that. Build up some consistency. If you're going to do stories are easy way to get yourself going. Lives humanize the process, because you can't erase anything. Like, once it's out there, so you can edit a little bit on Facebook, but you can't adjust it. And those imperfections make you human, right? So that self-awareness is the key. I mean, that's like the keystone for video and consistency. I tell everybody that the core we talk about is relevancy, omnipresence, and intimacy, right? Be consistent and be human, be a real person.
Yeah. When I first started doing video, people are always like, "Oh, Greg, I couldn't do video because, you're so good on video." I'm like, I've done it for years. Right. And, like you were saying, James, is that I tell everyone, look, you have your superpower. That's what I always call it, your superpower, something you're really good and really knowledgeable about, and just start doing videos on those. Like you said, once people understand that it's okay to blend their past life into their real estate life, or a hobby into their real estate life, their whole world changes. Because now, look, nobody wants to hear about real estate 24/7. It's fucking boring. It really is boring. I mean, and if they're not thinking about buying or selling, they're not going to tune in. But if they can be if you can be relatable to them, then they'll want to follow you. Like, I try to do 1 to 3 stories a day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'm seeing now that I'm being consistent at it, and I'd love to hear both you guys' opinion on this. Is that once I start posting consistently, like yesterday, I was a dum-dum and I fell asleep on the couch 2 nights ago, and I forgot I had chicken in the oven. Right. Woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, house covered in smoke. It was a disaster. And I posted about that. I said, "Hey guys, this is the look of a guy who's a dum-dum who left chicken in the oven, and I haven't been up and I haven't gone back to sleep. So I'm going to go take a nap. Have a good day." And, got tons of interactions about that. And most people would say, "Oh, I can't post my imperfections. I have to be perfect." But you were just saying, James, you don't have to be perfect. Actually, the imperfections is what makes you human.
Nobody
instead of being
shit.
That's what I mean, and for you guys that don't know, one of my very first coaches in my head was Greg. And when I started real estate, he was one that I listened to almost religiously, and I seen myself in him. And what I seen in him was that he was always Greg. You know what I mean? He's never changed at any point, even from years ago. Like this now, this is Greg, and that's what made it so dope. Well, I didn't have to figure him out. And the sooner people get to a point where they can see that they don't have to figure you out, they'll be more inclined. It's like 2 sides to it. We listen to people we like, but we buy from people we love.
Oh, interesting. Gene, what you're sitting down there just kind of like staring into the camera going, what?
No. Where I am is I had 700 points, and I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to pick out of the air and really dive into. I mean, you guys are saying all good stuff. I think 2019, we talked about this in some of the shows, started me down a path of transparency and vulnerability. And when that shows up on camera, people tend to trust you a little bit more. Like James was just saying about you. Once you know there's no bullshit involved, it's easier to get down to the core of what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, I'm not spending time trying to figure out why my stomach's turning around when I talk to Greg. Like, there's something about this guy I don't trust. You know, I mean, when you start, especially coming from Philly, I know James knows this, I got that sixth sense, man. Like, I always knew people were around my house 25 minutes before they got to my house, because you feel it. And I have that same sense when I meet people. If I don't like you at the outset, I'm probably not going to buy anything from you, right? Like, or you know, so, and I think, here's the other part of this too, James. I want to get your opinion on this, and I know where it's going to lie, but I love the video aspect of it, because for people that are worried about them coming off a certain way and people on the other side of the camera not liking them because of it, I find that that's a vetting process. If I got to come all the way out to your house to sell you my services, and you don't like the way that I move my hands or my jaw moves when I talk, you're probably not going to, something about me is not going to ring with you. And you might say to me, I'm going to interview 3 more guys. I don't want to talk to you until I know what I'm doing. I lost that business already, right? Why can't we get that out of the way while you're watching my videos and I don't even know it? I don't like that, dude. I'm not going to call him. Guess, okay, I'm good with all of that. I saved some gas money and 4 hours having to come out to try to impress you when I was never going to be able to do that. The vetting process is the negative. When people look at the negative side of that, I turn that into a positive side. It's like, let's get it out of the way. If you don't like me and you don't like the fact that Greg curses, that we're okay with that. But why do we have to spend 7 hours trying to figure that out?
Yeah.
But remove the bullshit quickly too. Very quickly. And I think that's in essence, again, it comes back to a person needs to understand that time is finite, right? We're so quick with wasting time because we feel as though we're being productive and don't realize, dude, that shit, you can't get that time back. And when you're really, really trying to be productive, time is very important to you. Like, I personally hate meetings. Like, I tell her, if a meeting go more than 15 hours, we just shoot the shit now. Like, you should be able to tell them 15 minutes. If it go more than 15 minutes, we're just shooting the shit now. We should be able to give me what we need in that 15 minutes, because if you invite me to a meeting, I'm not coming there with any real perspective outside of you're going to provide something that may be relevant that we should be discussing. And then I'm listening. I think, when we start looking at it where if someone brings you in for a listing presentation, it's always interesting where people just take these very long times for listing presentations. And I know some have a way of going through this whole sell or whatever. I don't knock anybody's approach, but that unique selling proposition or your value can be presented long before you walk through the door if you put yourself out there. Long before you walk through the door, the value of who you are and what you can do that can be very clear. And we have a way of I guess disassembling that ideology when it comes to ourselves, and we use it every day when we buy product. You know what I mean? Like, we walk in stores and buy products based off of, I know this is going to clean. I know this is going to work for me. I'll buy a luxury product because I love what Louis Vuitton is. Yeah, it's not all leather, but I know Louis. We use those ideologies when we invest in products, but we don't use it when we invest in ourselves. And it's just fascinating that we separate, how we move versus how somebody else will approach us. And the same rules apply, you guys. The exact same rules apply. There's 2 reasons why, or there's 2 levels of how people see us. This, when they're digesting content, there's a cognitive ease side where it's easy to watch Greg because you don't have to figure him out. I mean, if even you don't believe me, I think you have a number of people that can vouch that Greg is Greg, right? Greg is going to be very comfortable being Greg. And then you have that cognitive strain where you see videos, you see people, you see content, you scratch your head like, man, that shit don't sound right. Like, that shit just ain't making sense right now. You know what I mean? And, so when again, it really falls back into that self-awareness when we're very comfortable with who we are. You know what I mean? Like, we get to the point where that person that I want you to think I am, I'm over that shit. Right? I'm going to be me. And either you like me or you don't.
Yep.
Simple as that.
And I think that does another thing for people's psyche, because, you know, we make friends with everybody, make friends with all the kids in class. Well, Billy's a dick, so I don't want to be friends with Billy. All right. And, you know, you don't have to be friendly to everybody. And what I love about this whole push we're talking about here in today's show is the fact that, like both of you had said before, and I'm going to reiterate it, get the bullshit dance out of the way. Make sure that your tribe is asking you to come over, and not someone who does not resonate with you. And people, video doesn't work in my market. Well, yes, it does. Everybody is crack addicted to video. A good friend of mine, Jake's, has been using that term lately, and I just completely agree with what he's saying, because they are. We're all, you know, in video. It's where we communicate right now, and I don't think it's going to change. A lot of people are just working from home, which that's a whole nother topic we can talk about. But, you know, if you could go out and have happy meetings, not stressful meetings, because they already know you already kind of know them, they like how your stuff, you want to help them sell their property, so you can get over your bullshit and get right down into it, and let's just get the paperwork done, and then let's move on. So,
you know what I love about that too? You remember the old trick on the cell phones? Like, you used to use this trick when you were talking to somebody that you didn't really like, and you realized you had to get off the phone, and you would go, "I'm going through it," and then you hang the phone up, right? Like, you lose your call. I can do that in a Zoom meeting. My internet's been a little spotty today. If you lose me, I didn't cut. Oh, I'm out. Like, you can't do that in a face-to-face meeting, right?
That's hilarious, dude. That is, but it's so true though. You know, so let's talk a little bit about how to start with video, and I'm Joe, new agent, right? And just straight numbers. Where do you start with video? You
gotta have a business page. If you're gonna go on Facebook, you gotta have a Facebook business page. The big no-no is to do videos or lives on your personal page. That's a very big no-no. I'm fascinated that people still do that shit, and I know why. Because the audience or the attention is higher on your personal page. What people don't know is that's a violation to Facebook, and you shouldn't have to lose your leg to realize you got two good legs, right? So your business page, you need a business page first and foremost. Your whatever lives and videos you do that's promoting business needs to come from your business page and share to your personal page. And the reason why is when you get to a place where you're really, really understanding the features and the tools that Facebook has given you for free, it's all housed inside your business page, right? That's where we can build audiences, we can market, we can, you know, the fascinating part about these different distribution channels, not only are they free, but most of the tools that you have access to are free as well. It doesn't cost anything until you want to promote it you really want to promote it out on a larger scale. But just that one simple strategy of business page to personal page, done right, consistently, where you're focusing on just that relevancy, omnipresence, you're being consistent with it, and you're tapping into intimacy. You may not even have to put money to any type of advertisement because you've built up an audience that's willing to engage, right? You build an audience where you're willing to, you know, even now you pay attention to just how different shows are. A lot of shows, once they've did the initial launch, all they do is build up the expectation. They just tell you they'll be back on next Thursday. There's no more virtues and it's not a thing that they do anymore. Coming out, yes, it's like they spend a little bit of money to get you aware. And you do the exact same thing. If you want to put money to it to get people aware that you have a business page, fine. But the consistency of putting content on your page, sharing it to your personal page, and the ongoing maybe weekly weekly strategy of putting content to your page of videos will help the algorithm start to promote your page just because you're getting engagement. That's what Facebook is moving to. You know, as of 2019, going into 2020, it's all about engagement, and they're leaning more towards video streaming. Where we hear video streaming, immediately we think of YouTube, and YouTube is not video streaming. It's just the media of content. YouTube is search, right? So, you know, not to go down a real big, deep rabbit hole, starting point is have a business page, because if you have a business page, there's so many tools and features that you can use. And yes, it takes a little work to get the engagement over there, but you already have it. It's on your personal page. Just bring people to your business page.
And again, I think the thing that I really want to kind of hammer down there really quick, James, is the fact that it's not instantaneous gratification.
Not at all.
There is going to be work. There is going to be time that's going to be put into this. You are going to stumble. You are going to put videos out that crush. You're going to put videos out that just they flop. But as long as you're consistently and persistently putting out content, even if you think it's stupid, never, ever, ever take a video down. Don't.
Your first piece of content is going to be shitty anyway. I mean, you're still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, same muscle. You're developing the muscle. Like, you want to lift that 300 pounds, but you ain't did shit. So you can get up 50. Don't be embarrassed. Get that 50 and keep progressing up.
So Gene, talk to me a little bit in regards to, now we're going to get into cutting video up. So let's say they've started doing video. They jumped into James's boot camp. They're crushing with their leads. They're credible. They're comfortable in front of the camera now. Now they call Gene because they want to become the Coca-Cola of their area. So what does taking what James is teaching, all the content being relevant, rocking and rolling in front of the camera, boom, they walk over to you because now they're ninjas and just like you, and they want to be seen everywhere.
Well, they're not going to be a ninja like me, at least out of the gate. It's taken me 45 years to get to be stealthy, if you know what I'm saying. But No. But the reality of it is that, and Veronica Jones is saying that your old videos are fun to watch. I think she means fun in quotes, but whatever. I think if you go back and watch a video that you enjoyed, so like let's say somebody's watching this show, was like, this was a good show, let me go back. And you watch the full show again, and then there's like a 45-second clip of something that James said where you were like, yes, so much that, right? Then what I would do is I would upload that whole video and basically trim the front, trim the back, take that video and save the 45 seconds. And then I would say, then you take that and you post it on your story or wherever you're putting it, and you say, here's a show I get to watch on a regular basis. These guys give from their hearts. I think they're great dudes. You should join the show. And this is one of the things I've been practicing in my business forever. But James just said it live in front of a bunch of people. Just check it out and hit me up if you have any questions about it. Like, it's really that simple. Like, you just take, if it's a 5-minute video, there's probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little snippets that make sense in a stream, right? Like, it's a complete thought. And then once that thought is over, you can then use those pieces of thought to bring people to the page and to engage them. So, for example, let's just talk from my perspective. It would be very easy for me to go back, download this video from Facebook or YouTube, trim out a couple of the parts that I'm talking about and some of the things of the video that I'm talking about, like that example I just gave you, and then taking that, putting that on my business page and saying, here was some of the advice I dropped off on Greg's show today. If you need help with some of this stuff, call me. Like, you just basically got to, when you watch it from your own perspective, you're going to realize that there's certain snippets of each of these videos that ring true with you. Cut them so that you can still watch it and go, yeah, that makes sense. I love it. And then share it with your own kind of commentary above it, if you will.
So what you're saying here is that it takes a skill set, but you don't have to be a rocket science to cut out these videos. And you can take these and reconstitute them in multiple locations for multiple different reasons. People won't know, where the original one came from until you push them back to it. Because some people, maybe we do this on YouTube and Facebook. But some people on LinkedIn aren't going to see this. Well, then I can take this, cut this up, drop it at LinkedIn with a link back to the YouTube clip, and be like, hey, check out the whole full video if you guys are down to, if you guys want to see more of the content that we dropped on today's show. I think that's a little above some people's heads, but I think that for the people who are out there looking to be omnipresent, I think that's an important skill to start to develop. So when it comes to cutting out content, what kind of content would people be looking for? Anything, or there's a specific stuff they should be looking for?
Well, I think it depends on what your message is and how you're staying consistent. So for me, let's just take my channels. When you see stuff from me on Facebook, on my personal page, it tends to be a little bit more lighthearted. It's sports related. It's a little bit about me from a personal perspective. So if there was a clip during this where I was arguing with James about his favorite football team, I would take that and probably post it on my Facebook page. Whereas some of the business content we're talking about, I might throw out on LinkedIn. I think when we talk about it from that perspective, then it's getting too complicated. Nothing I just told you can't do within 5 minutes. You can do all this in 5. I can give you 10 minutes if you're a little slower. So 10 minutes it can take you. And especially in the beginning, when you're just starting this and you're building your muscles, as James was saying earlier, I think it's important. This is the neatest part about this game. You really don't know what content is going to work where. So what I always tell people is this is a science project. Just put it out and watch what the insights tell you. So I could take these little clips. Here's what I've learned during this quarantine. People like my wife on Facebook way more than they like me. If I do my videos about me, people jump in and out. When I have pulled my wife in and they know she's there, my engagement and my viewership goes absolutely through the roof. So in my world, if I was exploiting my wife, which she would tell you I do on a regular basis, I would use her in formats that I need to keep my attention on me for. And I go, yeah, no, she's here. You like her better than me. But in the meantime, I'm selling a book. Aren't I, babe? Right? And I'm making up a stupid example, but you get my point.
All right.
The start with the 1 minute video, take the 1 minute video, drop it to 5 different places, go get a lead, turn that lead into commission, and then come back to me and go, okay, this shit's working, now what? And then we can start to analyze how you take a 5 minute clip, break it into 3 30-second clips, where we put it, what it looks like, how you get to IGT. I mean, it can be overwhelming if you let it, but it can also be extremely simple if you get out of your own way.
Very simple if you get out of your way. You just, Veronica thinks that your wife is awesome.
She is. She married me. What are we going to do?
Exactly. But the thing for me is that when I first started doing video, I've never met a camera or a microphone I didn't like. And so for me, it was just a natural progression to get on camera and start doing this. But a lot of people are just really getting fearful of it. And I think this is what I tell a lot of folks. You don't have to believe what the three of us are saying on this show today. I would actually encourage you maybe not to listen to everything until you get over the hump of being afraid to be on camera. And here's my challenge to you. And gentlemen, back me up on this. I would make a significant bet on any day, with any person in any area, that if you go on and you do a live video and you talk about kind of who you are, what you're doing, maybe interview, show an area in town or a business in town or whatever, you're going to get people with only positive comments. It's going to be, wow, great video, super awesome. You look amazing, really well done, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be good, positive, uplifting messages back to you, which should reinforce into your psyche and your thoughts that, hey, look, this isn't dangerous. This isn't bad. I'm not going to get hurt. No one's going to kill me. No one's going to criticize me. Now, once you start getting trolls, that's good. You like your trolls. That means you're doing something. I mean, I love my trolls because I fuck with them just as much as they fuck with me. And I just bat them around like a cat with a ball of yarn. And exactly, I love fucking with them. But I mean, you won't get them right off. And so don't be afraid of how you look. Our good friend Veronica, she's here watching with us out of Texarkana, Texas. She has flat out told me several times that she absolutely hates doing video. But you know what? Super proud of her. She's like, when COVID hit, she got herself a fucking gamer headset, got on camera, started doing interviews. Now, were they perfect? No. Has she gotten better? Absolutely. But see, that's the type of attitude of just literally taking life by the balls and just not letting go. Because if life changed on you, if you're a big open house guy or gal and a big door knocker, well, your business is foobarred. You can't do either of those right now. So you got to adapt and change. So why wouldn't you do something that doesn't cost you anything? All it takes is a little bit of time. And you've got James, you've got Gene, you've got really intelligent human beings right here that would love to help you with that. So, James, talk to everybody a little bit about the Zillow Killer boot camps and kind of what you're doing. And I love the fact that you put your own money to work for people when they're in the boot camps to prove what's going on. So talk to us a little bit about the whole boot camp, when the next one is, and what they're gonna cover.
Oh, of course. The next one is there's one going on now. Since the whole COVID situation, we've been doing them monthly because I don't travel as much, so I have time. But the next one I think is June 25th or June 25th. For anybody that's interested, I mean, if you go to my website, jamesrimbert.com, you'll see the enrollment. To encourage a lot of you guys with videos, I'm a recovering introvert, so it wasn't like normal or this that came natural to me, right? And it's when you guys get to a place where, and I don't think you guys even pay attention, a lot of the content that comes from Real Estate Uncensored talks heavy into mindset. I think Greg has a a knack of making it very, very simple. You know, it can just fly over people. But a lot of what comes from this particular show is heavy into mindset. I mean, you got, Matt, which he got the micro famous, like this, the mantra of getting yourself in front of your market is heavy right here. And what we do at the boot camp, first, I've shifted the whole process of why we do the boot camp, right? One reason why we do the boot camp is to help the industry, right? And to give you guys access. And that's the game changer that helped me create my businesses. Access. Information was cool, but when I got access to people like Greg and a few others, it changed just the perspective of how I was able to move and navigate through things, right? Even my very first coach, it was pure access. And the reason why we do the boot camp now is I use it to raise money for children's charities, right? We take all that money that comes from the boot camp, we donate it to different children's charities because they're our future, right? Right now, I think us as adults have messed up enough shit, right? So we need to focus on making sure our kids have some country to inherit, right?
Right.
I donate all that to children's charity, and you spend 5 nights with me personally. No coach, no nothing, nobody from the company. I take my time. I shut my week down from Monday through Friday, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. You're with me personally, and I only allow 50 people because I nurture the concept of intimacy. I need to be able to see you. You see me. We interact. We engage. You get to know who I am. Very chill environment. Some people bring their drinks, they bring their wine, whatever it is. We're grown, we're adults there, right? Like I said, just from the waist up, let's try and keep it covered. From the waist down, you can party all day. Like you do whatever you want, right? See that shit, right? From Monday through Friday, I take you through what a real campaign is, right? We use Facebook as the distribution channel. I show you how to build out an effective ad, which we give real concept that a Facebook ad is not a campaign. People got this shit messed up. It was like, I run Facebook ads. That's cool, but what does that mean? And then the other thing was like, I generate leads. That's cool too, but are you generating conversations? Are you getting business? So I teach you guys how to generate conversations through the distribution channel of Facebook. And we go through the entire campaign build out from the very first day of what we do at my company when we consult, in reference to how do we find a season market. We go through our numbers, we break it down because there's a science and a strategy behind, running ads or adverts, right? It's not, I would love to tell you, it's like, you know what? I like that area. I like the price point. I like the houses there. Let's market there. That shit that's not a real thing. That's why a lot of you guys fail. And you guys run adverts. There's some predictability to this game, right? And then night 2, I show you guys how to build out an effective ad from beginning to end, strategies, techniques that we're actually using. The same shit that people pay me at my company to do. Like we manage well over 200 plus real estate teams and brokerages worldwide, right? So I think we kind of got this shit down. We spend about little over 30,000 a day in a platform, right? Exact same strategies we use at my company. We go through that. Then Wednesday, we go through, new software like messenger bots and breakdown. And we show you guys how to incorporate conversations and automation to that process. But before we get into automation, we spend the very first 2 days helping you understand intimacy has to proceed before automation. Getting into automation without intimacy is a waste of time, right? And then, of course, we get into integrations, and I show you really cheap and cost-effective ways to build up your back end for whatever campaigns you're running. Like when we kicked off Digital Natives, I tell everybody the very first year, we generated over $400,000 in gross profits from all free software, right? All free software. So you don't have to go out and break the bank to go out and have a structured business or a powerful infrastructure. So we show you all these different integrations you can add to make this campaign communicate, to make this thing rock. And then Friday, I get very deep into audience building, audience segmentation, audience building, how to properly get in front of your people, how to build out video, how to build out a structured and effective video campaign. So the whole process guides you through multiple strategies that you guys should be deploying to build an effective campaign, because unfortunately, we spent years getting just mixed information from people giving us opinion and not practitioners. You know, it's always fascinating. You hear people, oh, I run Facebook ads, and that's fine. Yeah, I spent $1,000 on it. Okay. What does that mean? Well, it didn't work for me. My man, I'm spending 30 a day, 30,000 a day. You spent $1,000 and you're telling me the shit doesn't work. Are we really having this conversation like that? You know what I mean? Like it's not even worth the conversation now. And unfortunately, we have such a misconception where people have tinkered inside the platform, learned a little bit, and now they're teaching, they're coaching, they're training. And then when people deploy this shit, it's like, it doesn't work because they're not practitioners. They don't do it. They're not out there. So to show people that it works, how effective it is, I personally put my money up front. I personally sit with you. And we go through that entire week. We go through mindset. We go through business growth. I mean, I share it all. And the advertising is a byproduct of you guys getting to know who I am as a person and understanding the same thing we talk about: relevancy, omnipresence, and intimacy. It all intertwines inside advertising, because that's the core of the internet. If you can tap into those three elements, anything, you can sell anything online, anything online. So. And it's $100 to be a part of the boot camp. Like I said, the shit is a no-brainer. If you don't have $100, then you definitely need to be a part of the boot camp. This is not the industry for you. And like I said, it's not about the money. I give all that money away to the kids. So more than anything, this industry was a keystone for me building a legacy for my family. This particular industry positioned me to a place where I broke the financial curse of my family's life from this industry, where now COVID-19 kicked in. That shit did not move me at all, right? It wasn't, okay, we can stay locked in. I'm good, right? And that the industry, this is what the industry provides. We're in an industry that has no financial cap. Like, we can make as much money as we want if we build a business, right? In 2 weeks, we have the opportunity to build a business that can ultimately feed a legacy if we take this shit serious and lose the vanity, the narcissistic side of it, and get to work.
Yeah, use the systems, use the tools, leverage the knowledge. I mean, guys, go stand on James's shoulders, learn from him. Don't have to reinvent it. You know, that's the beauty of networking with folks. And, you know, Gene, how can people get a hold of you? And do you have anything that people can reach out to you and chit chat with you about, or why should they reach out to you anyways?
Today you can reach out to me to talk to me about James's program. I got a chance to sit through a couple of his things last year, probably, I guess it was, with a couple of my friends. Dave Joslin and some other folks took it, and dude's a real deal. I mean, if you want to learn how to do some advertising, check him out. Matter of fact, I think I probably am going to enroll in one too, just to sharpen the knife a little bit.
Smart move.
Right? Yeah, right. Listen, I can always learn 5 new things, especially from this dude. So I'm ready to do the next one on June 15th, I think is the date, right?
Yeah, 25th or something. I get the date, but it's June.
Okay, yeah. yeah. So I want to see you during those, because I have a feeling we could take that to. So I could take that to another level with my clients. But in any case, you know, if you want to talk to me about that and talk to me about James, I got James's back just because he's from Philly. We stick together for sure. But hit me up at on my website. It's by my name, genevolpe.com. Like we talk about every episode, I have that little widget there. It's easy to get in touch with me, and I'm always happy to chat one way or the other. And
if you guys have been blind this entire time, this is James, the Zillow Killer. Reach out to him. Damn, look at that good-looking man right there. That's the guy you got to talk to about Facebook ads right there. Come on. That's too much fun. Well, guys, hey, I really appreciated it. We've had a good show, tons of content. If you guys have liked this, I need you to do a couple of things for me. I need you to share it out everywhere that you can if you thought this was good content. And 2, go to iTunes, Stitcher, go to anywhere that you have the podcasts and give us a 5-star, not a 2-star rating. Again, 5-star, not a 2-star. 2-star doesn't do shit for us. We want to get out there in front of more people. And if you guys like it, give shout out James, shout out Gene in the review as well. But yes, Gene.
I want to add something because somebody posted a comment that I don't want to let slide. We can close the show out with this.
Sure.
You want to throw that one back up there from Houses for Sale in Clarksville?
Oh, yeah.
Have that?
Give me 10 seconds.
Throw that back up there. Hi, it says, hi, I hope everyone's having a lovely day. I'm feeling a little not motivated today, but I love you doing this podcast. I want to express this to people that are listening. It's okay to have a day where you're not motivated, right? Take care of yourself for 24 hours and get yourself back in the right mindset and start again tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's not a problem with that shit. I mean, I took a day off this week. I was just done. I was mentally, just physically, emotionally just done. I was just like, oh, fuck it. I'm couching it. I felt bad for about 10 seconds. Then I'm like, you know what? The world's going to be there tomorrow. I have no problem with this.
Yes, sir.
I'm okay to do this. So, Gene, I need you to pick a bow for me, my friend. We need a bow for the show. What color are we going with?
Let's do hazy IPA yellow.
Okay, hazy IP yellow it is. So there it is, guys. I appreciate you. I love you to pieces. Reach out to Gene, reach out to James, guys. Get involved with what these guys are doing. That's why I'm gonna have them on the show, because I just think their content is awesome and they are both genuinely amazing human beings. So thank you, guys. I love you. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.